Hey besties! Welcome back to my channel. Before we start this video, make sure you subscribe. I post a video every week and I promise you don't want to miss out. Even better, turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. It's literally free. So originally this video was gonna be a mukbang and I literally filmed this whole video already and turns out my camera wasn't even on. I ate all my food already, drank half my Dunkin, so just bear with me. Also, if you notice, I am in a different car. I did get a new car. I'm so happy, so grateful, and so blessed. I literally manifested this car down to the bone. Like seriously, this car was literally everything that I was looking for. Comment down below a heart emoji if you want me to do a little car tour. I also kind of want to get like some accessories or like just some essentials for my car, so comment down below if you want to see that. The first topic that we have for today is self-love. This is very important and kind of the root for everything that we're going to be talking about. When you don't have self-love, you can't really give anything to anybody else. Like how they say you need to fill your own cup. When your cup isn't full, how do you expect to give anything to anybody else? Some examples of showing self-love is doing just basic everyday self-care things. Like obviously one of the most basic things that you can do is like brush your teeth, make your bed, brush your hair. Also just doing small acts for yourself, like going on solo dates, buying yourself flowers, treating yourself to a little Starbucks here and there. Like treat yourself the way you want others to treat you, if not better. Now when it comes to like the mental aspect of it, be kind to yourself. I know sometimes, especially me, I get so hard on myself and down, and then I just spiral into this feeling of not being worthy enough. It's really all in our heads at the end of the day. Positive self-talk is key. This goes along with our second topic, which is mindset. With a positive, happy, clear mindset, we just feel overall 10 times more leveled up. If you feel like you don't already have that positive mindset, which trust me, I have been there before, one of the best things you can do is positive affirmations. If you're new to the idea of positive affirmations, basically in simpler terms, it's just being delusional. For example, some positive affirmations could be, I am the happiest girl in the world. You might not think that you're actually the happiest girl in the world, but if you continue to repeat this in your mind is going to slowly start to believe that. I'm the happiest girl in the world. Good things come to me. I am the luckiest girl in the world. So really just get delusional. This is definitely one of the biggest things that really changed my life, was just catching myself when I would start to think negative and just immediately flip it. My next topic is about radiating confidence. This topic isn't going to be the easiest for everyone. I know that from personal experience. This all has to do with what you do behind closed doors. And then obviously what happens in social settings. In order to get to that point where you are so confident in social settings, you need to have confidence within yourself behind closed doors when nobody's watching. Confidence also has a lot to do with the amount of self-love you have for yourself, self-respect. Boundaries are a huge thing. When you set boundaries and you stick to those boundaries, that will help level up your confidence so much, because you know that you can set this boundary for yourself and not let anybody else cross it, especially you. Honestly, I didn't even know what a boundary was until like a week ago. Okay, obviously I had boundaries, but I didn't know the true definition of a boundary, and I feel like me knowing what the actual definition of a boundary was helped me grasp like what my boundaries boundaries should actually be. Okay, this isn't the same definition that I found. I literally watched a whole YouTube video on this, like literally an hour long, just on boundaries. But this is the definition of a boundary. It is a border. It can be physical, such as a fence between two properties, or abstract, such as a moral boundary that society decides it is wrong to cross. For our case scenario, it would be our boundary that we decide when it's crossed or not. Let's say somebody brings up a topic about something that you're not too comfortable talking about. Are you able to express that to them, or are you just going to go along with the topic and pretend like you don't care? That's the only way I can really put it into words right now. It's been a really long day. Cheers. Cheers, coffee break. So if you haven't already, definitely set aside some time and figure out what your boundaries are, get clear on them, and then don't let anybody cross them, especially yourself. If you have these boundaries, don't start making excuses. Oh, it's okay if this happens, or this person does this, or it's okay if I do this just one more time. No, bestie, we are not putting up with any BS this year, especially from ourselves. One of the biggest things that taught me how to be so confident in a social setting specifically was literally just faking it till I make it. If I walk into a room and I don't know anybody, I am low-key a little scared, I'm nervous, I walk with my head high, my chest out, I walk with a purpose, like I know where I'm going, even if I'm literally walking to nowhere. Also, don't be afraid to start a conversation with somebody that you don't know. You would be surprised how much knowledge, how many friendships that I have gained from not being afraid to go talk to somebody. And it sounds so easy, but I know too often we get way too caught up in our head with anxiety or just being nervous. Half of the time, people are in their own little world, worried about themselves anyway. Basically, everybody's way more worried about themselves than what you do, how you say it, what you're wearing, literally everything. Last thing about confidence, I swear I could talk about this all day long. Just be a good person, have good intentions, don't do things with an expectation that you're going to receive something out of it. Do it from the genuine kindness of your heart. Just trust me, okay? Just trust me. Our next topic is going to be about discipline. This kind of correlates with having confidence. When you have self-discipline, your confidence will automatically go up. First thing, when it comes to discipline, you need to establish some goals. Long-term goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. Get very clear on your vision, what you really want to do with your life, the impact that you want to have. And then when you establish these goals, let's say for your daily goals, for example, make your bed every day. Start doing that. If you want to be the type of person who makes their bed every day, has their perfect morning routine, you need to start somewhere. And it's gonna feel a little uncomfortable or out of place to start doing something that you don't normally do. Over time, once you start doing this thing over and over and over again, it's just gonna become second nature. Another thing that goes along with discipline is having priorities. For your daily goals, you need to get clear on what is most important to do today versus least important, and then maybe have a checklist, and your first 3 things be your main priorities, your must do, no excuses. Do those 3 things and then move on to your next tasks. Now, we have to remember that we are never always perfect, and we're literally put here to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. Don't be so hard on yourself if you do miss 1 or 2 things, but don't fall back into your bad habits. Let that one time be a mistake and snap right back out of it. Okay, the sun is setting right now. It's 8:30 p.m. so just bear with me for this lighting. The next thing we're going to talk about is your surroundings. You are the 5 people that you hang out with. So if you're hanging out with some lame, negative Nancys all the time, what do you expect? please tell me. You are literally going to become a lame negative Nancy with them. No matter how much you think that you're different from them, you are eventually going to become the exact same person. This is just human nature. There's just no way that you can avoid that. If you want to be this big person who leaves an impact on the world, makes so much money, millions, thousands of dollars, but you're hanging out with a whole bunch of broke, lame, negative Nancy's, that just doesn't make sense. When it comes to your surroundings, drama plays a huge role in this. Just stay out of drama. But I also feel like on the other side of things, just as humans, we kind of like it for some reason. But again, you just need to find balance between the two. When something upsets you, don't be afraid to speak up if you think that you're gonna get judged or start drama just because you're voicing your opinion. Now, when it comes to finding balance within your social life, again, this goes with having priorities. If your main priority is your studies, then obviously do those first and then make time for social, because social is very important. We all need social. We all need to have fun. Life doesn't always have to be so serious and so business, but I recommend spending your social life with good people and the people who you are okay with becoming. Now, do what you will with that information. Next thing we're going to talk about is relationships. For me personally, I'm going to be talking about men just because that is what I personally like. But this goes for pretty much everyone. This is a hard topic for me to talk about because I haven't necessarily had the best relationships ever. I've only been in 2 relationships. One of them was very healthy, great, 10 out of 10. And the other one wasn't so healthy. It was toxic, but for some reason I enjoyed the toxicity. I feel like I learned a lot from both of them and they both taught me certain things. Standards. Yes, you need to have standards. When I say this, it's more important to have standards for yourself, and this goes back to self-love, but just filling your own cup. And when you have these standards for yourself, it's more natural to have standards for another person when you already have it within yourself. For example, if one of the standards that you have for a man, in my case, was for them to open every single door for you, you need to walk around like you are worthy of someone holding the door for you. Okay, wait, that was a really bad example. Okay, better example. If one of your standards is for a man, in my case, to have very good communication skills, I need to have good communication skills. How can I want something from somebody else if I can't even give it to them myself? That just makes no sense. Before a relationship, you need to be okay with being by yourself. I can tell you from personal experience, if you are not fully healed or okay with being by yourself, a relationship is not going to work. No matter how much you try, no matter how much effort you put in, it's never gonna work. When you're okay with being by yourself and content with being single, I feel like that's when your significant other is going to fall right into your life. I heard this really good quote where it's like, you don't jump in love, you don't climb in love, you fall in love. It's supposed to be natural. It's not supposed to feel forced. Last topic I have for today is drugs and alcohol. Just skip it. Overall, just skip it, especially if you're using it as a coping mechanism. Let's say you get super drunk and you drink all your problems away, then all of a sudden the next day you wake up, you feel like shit, and you still have the same problems that you had the night before. Now they're just shittier because you feel shittier. And this goes for really any drug or alcohol. I feel like they're all used for the same purpose, to feel a sense of like numbness. Trust me, there is way better alternatives out there for you to relieve stress. One of my personal favorite things to do is to go to the gym. That might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I feel like physical exercise of any kind is great. Go on a walk, go on a jog, go on a bike ride. The list really goes on, and it's as simple as searching up on Pinterest fun things to do for physical activity. I need to roll down my window a little bit because I'm getting hot. Originally, the reason why I started going to the gym was to improve my appearance. It got to a certain point where I didn't even care about my appearance anymore. It literally did something to my mental health that I've never felt before, especially the dopamine rush that I get once I'm done with a workout session and I completed my to-do list in the gym and I'm done and I did it. Like, that just feels so good. And it definitely helped build my confidence too, just knowing that I can push myself through uncomfortable situations. So that's what I would recommend instead of drugs and alcohol. Of course, not everybody's perfect. Again, don't be hard on yourself if you want to sip a little wine and have a little movie night. Of course, this only applies to people of age, but you get the point. Finally, we are done talking about topics. Now we are going to be moving on to the questions that you guys asked me. The first question that I got was tips for cramps. I personally, thank God, don't have to deal with cramps. It's just my genetics. I just don't really get bad cramps. The best thing from what I've heard, Advil, heat compression, cold compression, maybe take a hot bath. I am definitely not the best person to ask for this, but that is the best advice I can give you. I'm sorry. The next question I got is number one non-sexual turnoff. This is a really good question. I was just talking to my friend about this the other day. We were talking about our icks, and if you don't know what an ick is, it's pretty much just a turn off. And I was thinking, like, when I enjoyed toxicity and toxic relationships and just anything of that nature, I had so many icks, and now that I've been steering away from the toxicity, I don't have as much icks anymore. Non-sexual turn off. The first thing that came to mind is just a man who is very out there. And when I say that, I don't mean he has like a lot of confidence. I'm just saying, like, he's talking to every girl, getting every girl's number, complimenting every single girl. Like, that just really turns me off. And I personally like when a man is picky and he doesn't go for every single girl and he has standards for himself. I just love that about a man. The next question that I got is my biggest pet peeves. I can't think of too many pet peeves that I have. Like, I know some people don't like when people like smack their food or chew their gum super loud. Like, that stuff doesn't really bother me, honestly. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have is when people lack just common decency, especially in public. Like, when somebody is mean to like a waitress or a waiter, like, that really just ick, pet peeve, turn off, just all of that, all of the above. So that's definitely my biggest pet peeve. The next question I got is biggest regrets. I try to live my life with no regrets, but let's be real. In high school, I didn't make the best decisions. I definitely could have showed up for myself a little bit more. Just who I surrounded myself with, my lack of effort in school, it was just terrible. You just had to be there. I did have a lot of fun, so I guess it's not really a regret because I did have fun and I did learn a lot from it. I went through the whole partying phase, all of that crazy stuff when I was in high school, thankfully. Obviously, I still like to go party here and there, but again, finding balance is very important. When I was in high school, that was like my only goal, was to just see how many parties I can go to in a day. I definitely wish I had better priorities in high school. The next question I got is, what do you love most from a guy? Just a man who I can respect. If you show that you are worthy of being respected, there's just nothing that I love more than that. Like, it makes his friends want to respect him. It makes a stranger want to respect him. That is just the best thing ever. Also, obviously, him having respect for himself. Wait, I think I already said that. Next question I got is pros and cons of having a short boyfriend. Let's just get the cons out of the way. Just not feeling feminine enough. I want to feel protected when I'm around my man, and if he was short, I just feel like I wouldn't be able to feel as safe as if I was with a taller man. But this short man could also bench 400 pounds, so that is just not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Pros of having a short boyfriend is I don't really have to worry about other girls taking him, and that sounds really bad. Stereotypically, girls are more attracted to tall guys. I just feel like I've heard so many girls say that they want a tall boyfriend. I wouldn't have to worry as much about them. I don't really worry about them in the first place, but if I were to worry about other girls and my man, I would be less worried if he was short. This just is all terrible. My next question goes along with the last one, which is, do you ever get jealous of other girls? The word jealous is very harsh. Naturally, I'm not a very jealous person because I know my self-worth and who I am, and I spent a lot of time just really digging myself up, getting to know myself truly. Not saying that I've never been jealous of anyone before. Of course, I'm not perfect, but the times that I was jealous of those girls, I noticed that it was because usually in your mind, when you despise something about somebody else, you probably have that same trait deep down. This all goes along with life and just figuring out who you are. Journaling is a great way to discover your true self because nobody's gonna read your journal, and you can truly just express your true feelings without worry of what anybody else is going to think or anybody else's opinion. My next question is, how do you get your hair so long? I very rarely use heat on my hair, and when I do use heat, I use a heat protectant of any kind. Another big thing that hairstylists always tell you is to trim your hair so often, and I just never really listen to that. I'll trim my hair maybe every 6 months and it's fine, honestly. I don't wash my hair every day. I would say I go about 3 days without washing my hair. On the 3rd day, I do an oil treatment. With a slick bun, I can still style my hair and have it look cute with the oil sitting in my hair, which is just so good for your hair. The next question I got is best relationship advice to long-lasting relationships and healthy relationships. I am not the girl for this question. I haven't really had a long-term relationship, and when I say long-term, I mean 3 years plus. But I would say just having good communication, being very understanding, and also making sure both of you are filling into your own cup. There's some things that it's okay to keep private for yourself. Now, I'm not saying go cheat and keep it private, but I'm saying just do things for yourself and just overall make sure both of you are growing. That's as much advice that I'm going to give on this topic because, again, I'm not an expert on this one. My next question is, how do you handle the days you feel insecure? Stick to your short-term goals. Make sure you're showing up for yourself, and that will help with insecurity. Also, doing things for your physical health, like going to the gym, doing physical exercise, just actively working on not only your body but also your mental health. It kind of goes hand in hand with each other. Also, be careful with social media. I know that especially in this day and age, there is so many Instagram models with fake bodies, plastic surgery, Photoshop, editing their pictures. Comparison is the thief of joy. I would recommend weeding out your social media and unfollowing anybody who makes you feel bad about yourself, even if they are the prettiest girl in the world. If their body looks nothing like yours, just unfollow them. Just do it. Just trust me. My last and final question is, how do you avoid jealousy? This is a great question. I'm so glad that you asked this. Pour into your own cup. It's very hard to get jealous of somebody when you know that you're doing these things for yourself. I genuinely think that I have a very kind heart. With that being said, it's harder for me to get jealous of somebody than to want what's best for them. If I ever felt jealous of somebody, I would point the finger back at myself and see what I can do to improve within. I definitely think that life is a mirror, and whatever whatever you happen to notice is something that the universe or God or whoever you believe in is trying to bring awareness to you. So just pay attention to it. Okay, enough talking. I feel like I've been talking for years. Literally, the sun set. My coffee is gone. It is time to go inside. We had a great late night talk. I hope you were able to gain some value or knowledge from this video. If you made it this far, comment a blue emoji, but don't tell anyone. This will be our secret. Also, don't forget to like the video. It really helps out. I am so grateful for every single one of you. And of course, don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. Other than that, I will see y'all in the next one.
Hey, I'm on vacation every single day.
In Tallahassee, FSU, I'm with the Seminoles. Let me just be hating on me, swear that shit be getting old. Florida shit don't want no diamonds, you know I just want to go.
No, you kicked me in my head right here. Hey guys, good night. Bye. Look at my last video. Bye.